like never drink coffee because it's just too much caffeine for me, but on serious days like today where you ruin your sleep schedule from staying up too late, this stuff is needed. Hey everyone, it's Eva, and you all know I have a lot of hair. Anyone that's touched my hair, or anyone that styles my hair is like, you have a lot of hair. And like whenever they blow dry my hair, because they, I don't know, it's part of like the style at the end or whatever, like adds the cost for them and like, you know, whatever. They're always like, you have too much hair. Like, do you ever blow dry your hair? No, are you crazy? That's gonna take so much effort. Like, I feel like blow drying my hair is probably equivalent to like, you know, arm workouts. But being one of those girls with a lot of hair, I sympathize with all of you guys that have bobby pin problems, because I too had the same problems, except I found some ways to work around it and some ways to make it work. So because I have that issue and I found solutions, I'm gonna share them with you guys, because that's the whole point of my channel. I have a very, very long list on my phone, so I'm gonna try and make this video as short as possible, but if you guys do want more details, you know, just feel free to ask down below. I'll try and answer it as soon as possible. Number 1. This first tip is so important. Like, I learned the hard way for so long that you should not buy cheap bobby pins, especially from the dollar store. Now, I know at one point the dollar store, the quality was actually pretty up to par and pretty good, but in this day and age, the quality kind of like deteriorates because they want higher margins and more money and whatnot. But for real, if you are actually struggling with keeping bobby pins in your hair, or like make sure the bobby pins don't break so easily, do not buy cheap bobby pins. Try to go to like a specialty hair store or something to get like real strong bobby pins that actually work. Because if you buy dollar store bobby pins, you're gonna find out that they break really easily, or like they bend really easily. They're just too malleable to be working with this amount of hair. My second tip, I actually figured a lot of people would already know it, but I guess not. But I'm assuming if you have thick hair, you already know this, so you can skip past this. But when you're using bobby pins, there is a straight edge and a bumpy edge. You are going to want to make sure that the bumpy edge is the part that faces your scalp. So it's the part they use to like, you know, dig in and make sure that it stays in there. Do not use it upside down, because I've never actually used it upside down. It doesn't make sense to me. So it probably just doesn't work, I'm assuming. Tip number 3. This is an obvious one as well, but if you're gonna be bobby pinning something in place, exit out. Why? Because they kind of like grip onto each other, especially if there's these grooves and you like stick the grooves together. It has more of a hold, and it'll keep your hair in hold as well. Tip number 4. Hairspray. Hairspray either your hair or the bobby pins first. It kind of acts almost like a glue to keep it in place. I'll be honest though, I really don't like hairspray. Like, my hair, for most of my videos, most of the time, is not hairsprayed at all. I just don't like the feeling of it. I'll use it sometimes if I'm going out or something, obviously, and it's like summer and hot. But otherwise, if I'm just at home filming, not about that life, nope. If hairspray is not strong enough, then tip number 5, tease your hair. I know teasing your hair sometimes is bad, or people say that it's bad because combing it out, you might like damage your hair and whatnot. But if you are actually having issues and you are willing to tease your hair, then do it, because what it does is it kind of like creates little tangles in your hair. So it's not like nice, smooth, straight hair or something that your bobby pin just slip off. Like, I find that when my hair is straight and my bobby pins are like this, like crossed, they still slip out. But that's mainly because I don't tease it, so it doesn't really have any like loops or nooks or like knots to actually hang on to. Teasing your hair will actually add more texture, so it'll stay in. Tip number 6. I actually don't have any more of these bobby pins because I didn't like it, because they kind of hurt my hair. They pulled on my hair a little bit, so I'll just put a picture of it here. But use rubber bobby pins. If you can find them, then use them. But this is like real serious, like worst case scenario, because these things do pull on your hair. Well, actually, I haven't used them in a while, so they probably like manufactured it better or like innovated it, so it might not actually pull on your hair. But they definitely do stay in place. I bought them when I was desperate and I didn't know of all these tips like teasing your hair and everything. This is before YouTube existed, basically. And for real, they saved my hair sanity. So if you really, really are struggling, go with that. But if you don't want to go for rubber one, or you don't really trust it, there is the alternative of much thicker bobby pins. And by thicker, I mean like it's really hard to open the bobby pins to put the hair in. And you know, if it's tight to clamp, then you know it's gonna keep your hair up. I know in elementary school, I actually used those a lot. There were like these two specific bobby pins that I had like little jewels on it. I think my mom gave it to me a long time ago, like fake jewels. But I always used those to keep my bangs up. Like I would just, you know, bobby pin it like this and just go to school like this with those two shiny, really shiny bobby pins. Because those were the only bobby pins that kept my hair up. And you know what? They were so strong that I didn't even have to cross them. Like I could just literally put it parallel to my vertical hair. They were amazing. I don't even know if you can get those anymore, but they were really amazing. Tip number 7. If you are doing an updo, then try to introduce yourself to hairpins. Hairpins are actually in the bobby pin family, or maybe vice versa. I don't know. They're generally the same thing, but different. You know what I mean. I actually didn't know how to use these until my hair and aesthetics teacher taught me in like, I don't know, it was sometime between grade 10 and 12. But these things, they are very flimsy, they are very loose, they are very malleable. However, if your hair is already up and you just need to like add some different strands to different areas, or maybe even like style it into loops or something, and like the small little bobby pins don't have enough space, this is where hairpins come in handy. There's so many different ways you could use them. One of the ways that she taught me how to use it, if it's a really fluffy hairdo or something, you can always like bend one part up so it kind of creates like a fish hook so it has more to grip onto. You know, like scoop your hair up and then just put it downwards. And another way, if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to ruin your bobby pins or hairpins, is to just use it without like bending it. And of course, these ones you definitely need to have your hair already in place for. Like it has to be already like held up and like tied up and whatever, just so it has something to grip onto. You can't use them like normal bobby pins. It just doesn't work. And if you touched one or if you play with one, you know it's not gonna work like a normal bobby pin. Tip number 8, add texture to your hair. For those of you with like curly or wavy hair, that's amazing. I love your volume, I'm so jealous. But you guys probably won't have too much of this issue. For people with very straight hair like I do, we need some texture for the hairpins to grip onto. One way of adding texture is to either curl or wave or like, I don't know, crimp it. Do something to your hair just so it has texture. Sometimes that's also not enough, and it mainly just works if you have like tight curls or something. But if that doesn't work, then you can always add more texture with not just hairspray. I mean, you could add a hairspray as well, but I like to use dry shampoo. That's also the reason why a lot of people are like, yeah, this is my second day hair. I don't like using hair that's like same thing washed. I mean, that's not the reason why I don't do it. I don't do it because when I come out of the shower, my hair dries. It's frizzy, super frizzy, like I need to sleep on it. But putting dry shampoo in your hair does add some more texture and some more grip. Like if you use a lot of dry shampoo, and you would know if you don't wash your hair very often, i.e. me, after a while you start to feel like too much like dry shampoo in your hair, and it feels gross and it feels thick. That's how you know that there's a lot of texture in your hair at that moment. But obviously by then, you need to wash your hair. But that's just an extreme example of how it adds texture to your hair. And my last tip, which is actually like one of the many problems that I had as a child, and one of the many things that I did wrong, is when you're bobby pinning, try not to go in like parallel directions of any hair that you're trying to pin up. For example, do you remember when I said I used to pin my bangs up like this? Yes, those bobby pins were very strong, so that's why it works. However, if I'm using like regular bobby pins like this, and I just go like straight up like vertical, it's not gonna keep my hair up. Try to bobby pin it so that it goes in like the opposite direction, or like it crisscrosses, just so that it has something to grip onto. So if your hair is going like straight like this, you're obviously not gonna bobby pin your hair like straight like this as well. You're gonna bobby pin it like this. I hope these tips really helped you, and I hope they helped you as much as they helped me, and I hope that what I've learned over the years of like trial and error and like hating my hair, I hope it actually helped you guys. Like I really do hope that it did. And if you have a lot of problems with bobby pins, or if you have thick hair and you just hate it, just remember, love it, because it is your hair and it does have its own benefits. If you guys have any other questions, leave them down below. And I also want you guys to comment down below and let me know your bobby pin hacks. What tips do you use? What tips have you found? Us girls who suffer from having too much hair and in bobby pin struggles, we gotta share our tips. But anyways, I hope you guys really liked this video. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, subscribe for more videos, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!